think that clock is broken. I'll try to keep this under 2 minutes. The Jackson family, I know we're celebrating a life. Was the life lost? Having lost a wife and daughter and son, it's cold out of the blue. It's not easy, no matter how much you loved them, no matter how close you were. So I just like to express my deep sense of, how can I say it, sympathy and understanding. But the big thing is, though I left, he left you something that no one else could. He left you character, judgment, honesty. You can't kid yourselves about what's right and wrong. President Obama, President Mrs. Clinton, Vice President Harris. Jesse believed, the Bible tells us, that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not grow faint. I hope the hell you all got that, but you're going to need help getting out of here.
Reclaiming my time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited, so pleased, so warm, so everything right now, because we're here celebrating the life of a great man. Jesse Louis Jackson Sr. was a great civil rights leader. He didn't literally just talk the talk. He walked the walk. And I want you to know that he changed my life. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but before I do, to the governor and to the mayor here, I like how you handled the city and the state when ICE came in here. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Nobody said the road was going to be easy, but I don't believe he's brought us this far to leave us now. Allow me a moment of high commendation to the Jackson family. Thank you for adopting me as a son and as a brother. I'm grateful and love you much. It was on a wintry night, January 6, 1919. Theodore Roosevelt died of an embolism coronary. When the word came back to the Vice President Meslin, he asked, how did he die? The answer responded back, he died in his sleep. Vice President Meslin said that makes sense, because had he been awake, there would have been a fight. Jesse Jackson died in the middle of the night, because had he been awake, there would have been a fight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here because this is the first modern prophet in American history to prove to be bulletproof. This is the very first prophet that the government could not compromise and was able to stand. Those of you who are wondering why we have been here this long, the service wouldn't have been this long if we were able to go to the Capitol, but the Capitol is now only reserved for pedophiles and podcasters. We're in a critical moment in history. A critical moment in history where it is that we have to figure out what are we fighting for and all that we're running for. 1984 and 1988, Reverend Jackson was running. And physiologists suggest that running is not good for you long term. It strains your knees. It causes, in fact, stress on your body. Eventually, you begin to find yourself in pain. And in spite of all of the pain that was in Reverend's body, he kept on running. And the good news, ladies and gentlemen, that is not necessarily reflected from this microphone is Reverend Jackson didn't run alone, but he had the good sense and the foresight that when he was running, he took strong black women with him. I want to pause and thank God for his sister disciples in Donna Brazil and for Sister Mignon and Leah Daughtry, because he understood you ain't gonna go far unless you take strong black women with you. And I wish America would get over itself and just recognize America will never be great if we take strong black women with us. Can you imagine America would not elect a brilliant black woman because of her laughter, but they would elect a mediocre white man even if he was a felon? We got to take some strong black women with us. I'm glad my Congresswoman Nakima is here, my Senator Raphael Warnock is here, but I wish I had my governor here, Stacey Abrams, but they couldn't take a strong black woman with them. I'm so grateful 3 days after the election, I still stand with Jasmine Crockett, because we got to take some strong black women with us.
I'm stronger, I'm wiser, I'm better, so much better. When I look back, I say when I look back, I say when I look back, over all he brought me through, I realize I made it because I had him to hold on to. Oh,
Whoa. I'm actually going to be pretty close on time. I think we should not forget, and Jim Zogby didn't, he did a fine job, but this is a celebration and a memorial service. And you have to ask yourself, what did Jesse Jackson do that I admire most, that moved me most, and what can I do right now that would maybe be as good as what he did then? That's what we're all facing here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mrs. Jackie, and to the entire Jackson family, on behalf of Doug and my family, we pray with you as we did a couple weeks ago in your home, and we thank you. I thank you. So let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming. But what I did not predict is that we would not have Jesse Jackson with us right now to help us get through this. And this afternoon has been such a beautiful remembrance of his spirit, his life, and his faith. And in a way that Reverend Al talked about it and so many others have, I do think of this afternoon as what it is doing for me to renew my faith in what is possible, fueled by the hope that Jesse Jackson so often reminded us of. I'm reminded of a passage in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 7. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. And so from an young age, we know that Reverend Jackson saw that the doors had been closed to the millions of people across our nation and throughout the world.
Chicago, ladies and gentlemen, President Barack Obama.
It's good to be home. I love you back. The book of Isaiah. Where are you at? Now, see, I believe in the Constitution. The book of Isaiah God is looking for a messenger to guide a hardened and resistant people. And the Lord asks, whom shall I send? And who will go with us? To which Isaiah replies, here I am, Lord. Send me. To Mother Jackson and the Jackson family, to President and Mrs. Biden, President and Secretary Clinton, Vice President Harris, Pastor Dates, my old friend, though he looking good, Reverend Meeks, Reverend Jenkins. It is an honor to join you today to celebrate the Reverend Jesse Jackson, a man who, when the poor and the dispossessed needed a champion, and the country needed healing, stepped forward again and again and again and said, send me.
There's an old friend that I once had said something that touched my heart, and it began I was born by the river in the little tent. Oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long, 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 a long time coming, but I know change gonna come.
Thank you. I've heard all through our service, first giving honor and regard to the Jackson family and to the matriarch of liberation, Mrs. Jacqueline Lavinia Jackson. As I listened and thought about, everyone quoted the slogan of Reverend Jackson. But I want to, in my few minutes, and if you take Brother Biden's minutes and other minutes, I come out of the Jackson School of Thought. They told me 4 minutes, which means 8 in Jacksonian language. I don't want us, Yusef, to leave here having mourned and then mock what Jackson was all about. We're sitting here acting like our own lack of rising to what he wanted us to be is the reason we are sitting on the brink of some of the most serious Reconstruction behavior being rescinded that we've seen in modern times. To leave here and not follow an assignment would not be what Jesse Jackson taught us. To make us feel good, we went to Jesse Jackson's funeral, and that we said nice things about Mrs. Jackson. But people at the same time are killing illegal immigrants. People at the same time are cutting public funding. At the same time, Affordable Care Act is not being renewed and seniors have to deal with premiums. Don't sit here so holy and sanctified and act like you have no assignment yourself.
If I can have everyone's attention for just a moment, I promise that I'm going to bring this program to a tighter close and get us out of here at a reasonable hour. Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address, Pastor Browning, in 3.5 minutes. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered the I Have a Dream speech in 13.5 minutes. If it can't be said between the Gettysburg Address and I Have a Dream, it ought not be said at all. For what remains of my time, and I promise Yusef that I would not be more than 7 or 8 minutes, I want to talk about my daddy. Now, when Martin Luther King Jr. died in 1968, he was an immensely unpopular figure. Brother Reynolds, Brother Sharpton, members of the Congressional Black Caucus who were present. Dr. King on April 4th, 1968 was immensely unpopular. Who he is today is not who he was on April 4th, 1968. And I'm sensing, Sister Parker, on this occasion that we are moving in the direction of a Jesse Jackson that I wouldn't, Mama, even recognize. Jesse Jackson, at the hour of his death, was not Roland Martin, a popular figure. He would have stood against the war in the Gaza. He would have been fighting for the Affordable Care Act. He would be fighting to save the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and challenging the Supreme Court to render a decision in the Calais decision that would strengthen the Congressional Black Caucus and not undermine it. If you are a member of the Congressional Black Caucus and you are still here, allow us the opportunity to recognize you. Will you please stand? Members of the CBC came from around the country, and our congressional districts are under threat at this hour. When the stranger showed up in them projects, when the stranger showed up, The stranger came in the form and in the embodiment of Jesse Jackson.
The family is going behind the casket. The family is going behind the casket.
Oh, yeah, it was early one morning, just about to break the day. She
We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.